Northeast 12 o'clock. Incoming!
Weapons away.
Land of Bad is imagined as a gritty, high-intensity military action thriller that strips away heroic glamour and replaces it with raw survival, moral tension, and the brutal reality of modern warfare. From the opening moments, the film establishes a harsh tone, dropping the audience into a hostile environment where every decision can mean life or death. Rather than focusing on large-scale battles, the story centers on a small team, emphasizing isolation, pressure, and the psychological cost of combat. The world of the film feels unforgiving, where technology, strategy, and human instinct collide under extreme conditions. The story follows an elite military unit deployed on a covert mission in a remote and hostile region known only as the Land of Bad. This territory is lawless, unpredictable, and dominated by enemy forces who know the terrain far better than any outsider. The mission is meant to be quick and precise, extract a high-value target and disappear without a trace. However, from the start, it is clear that the operation is walking a thin line between success and catastrophe. Intelligence is incomplete, communication is fragile, and the environment itself feels like an enemy. At the center of the narrative is a young, but capable soldier stepping into his first true combat mission. He is skilled and disciplined, yet inexperienced in the chaos of real warfare. His perspective grounds the film emotionally, allowing the audience to experience fear, confusion, and determination alongside him. Leading the team is a hardened commander, calm under pressure and shaped by years of combat. His leadership style is practical and ruthless when necessary, reflecting the reality that hesitation can cost lives. Supporting the ground team is a remote drone pilot operating from thousands of miles away. This character represents the modern face of warfare, where battles are fought through screens, data feeds, and satellite imagery. Despite the physical distance, the emotional weight of responsibility is heavy. Every decision made through the drone camera has immediate consequences for the soldiers on the ground. This connection between distant control and frontline danger becomes a key emotional thread in the story. As the mission begins, tension builds steadily. The team moves through hostile territory under the cover of night, relying on silence and coordination. The film uses sound design effectively, emphasizing breathing, footsteps, and radio static to heighten suspense. Small signs hint that the mission is compromised, enemy movement appears where it shouldn't, extraction points feel exposed, and communication delays grow more frequent. The sense of unease grows long before the first shots are fired. When the operation inevitably goes wrong, chaos erupts suddenly and violently. An ambush leaves the team scattered, injured, and cut off from immediate extraction. The controlled precision of the mission collapses into a desperate fight for survival. The Land of Bad reveals its true nature as a place where rules do not apply and mercy is rare. The environment, from rugged terrain to abandoned structures, becomes a maze of danger. The film shifts into survival mode as the remaining soldiers struggle to regroup. Supplies are limited, injuries worsen, and the enemy closes in. The young soldier is forced to confront fear head-on, making decisions far beyond his experience. His arc is defined not by becoming fearless, but by acting despite fear. Each choice carries moral weight, especially when civilian lives and teammates' survival hang in the balance. The drone pilot's role becomes increasingly crucial as he provides surveillance, guidance, and limited fire support. However, the film does not glorify this power. Instead, it highlights the emotional toll of watching lives depend on pixels and coordinates. The pilot forms a strained but vital bond with the soldier on the ground, their communication becoming a lifeline built on trust and urgency. This relationship bridges the physical and emotional distance of modern combat. As enemy forces tighten their grip, the film explores themes of loyalty and sacrifice. Characters are pushed to their limits, revealing who they truly are under pressure. Moments of heroism emerge not as grand speeches, but as quiet, desperate acts meant to buy time for others. Loss is sudden and unceremonious, reinforcing the film's commitment to realism and emotional impact. The pacing remains relentless, alternating between bursts of intense action and moments of suffocating silence. These pauses allow the characters and the audience to feel the weight of exhaustion, fear, and uncertainty. Flashbacks and brief conversations reveal fragments of the soldiers' lives outside the battlefield, emphasizing what is at stake and what may never be reclaimed. As the mission drags on, moral complexity deepens. The line between right and wrong blurs in the face of survival. Orders from command clash with the reality on the ground, forcing the commander and his team to decide whether to follow protocol or trust their instincts. The film does not offer easy answers, instead presenting the harsh truth that war often demands impossible choices. The climax builds toward a final stand where escape seems nearly impossible. The environment closes in, enemy numbers grow, and resources are nearly gone. The drone pilot faces a critical decision that could save the remaining soldiers but carries devastating consequences. This moment becomes the emotional peak of the film, encapsulating the cost of power, responsibility, and distance in warfare. When the dust finally settles, the resolution is deliberately restrained. Survival does not feel like victory, and rescue comes with a heavy sense of loss. The characters who make it out are forever changed, carrying physical and psychological scars. The film avoids triumphant celebration. Instead, focusing on reflection and the quiet aftermath of trauma, the ending leaves a lingering impact, emphasizing that missions may end, but consequences do not. The Land of Bad remains a symbol of the chaos and moral ambiguity of modern conflict. The surviving characters return home, but the battlefield stays with them, shaping their identities and futures. Visually, the film is grounded and immersive, favoring practical environments and realistic combat over exaggerated spectacle. The camera often stays close to the characters, creating intimacy and tension. The color palette reflects the harshness of the setting, with muted tones that reinforce the bleak atmosphere. The imagined release positions Land of Bad is a hard-hitting action thriller aimed at audiences who appreciate realism and emotional depth. It stands apart from traditional war films by focusing on small-scale survival and the human cost of remote warfare rather than large-scale patriotism or spectacle. The trailer is envisioned as tense and urgent, built around rapid cuts, heavy breathing, radio chatter, and flashes of chaos. It teases the intensity of the mission without revealing outcomes, emphasizing danger, isolation, and the bond between soldiers and those guiding them from afar. Overall, Land of Bad is imagined as a powerful and uncompromising look at modern combat. It is a story about survival under impossible odds, the weight of command, and the fragile connection between technology and humanity. By grounding its action in emotional realism, the film delivers a gripping experience that stays with the audience long after the final moment fades to black.